Hey everyone, welcome back to In the Alley. My name is Cody. Glad you guys are back for another video. This is it for week 6, the final 2 games to recap, so I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's dive right into it with Arizona and Northern Arizona. Alright, so for our first recap, takes us to the desert, and this was a game? Question mark? I don't say that sarcastically, but we had a nice little back and forth affair between Arizona and Northern Arizona to the point where Northern Arizona was leading for quite a bit of this game until they just kind of ran out of gas, man. So I'm not sure what kind of went on. We'll kind of discuss that obviously in the stats portion and everything else, but let's recap this. Wranglers, they start the game with the ball. Ramon Atkins-Frazier is a deep shot to Marlon Cook. He connects to the Arizona 11. Atkins-Frazier spins off a defender and goes down hard at the 1. He dives across the next play. Northern Arizona scores first, 7-0. Rattlers set up nicely after a banked penalty as Ron Brown catches a Myler pass inside the Northern Arizona 5. Superman Max Myler left side goes over the Dashers and reaches over like hitting the pylon in the outdoor game. Refs, they say it's a touchdown. 7-7, and we're tied. So he dives over the wall, stretches it. There's no pylon to hit like the outdoor game, so it's like he touches either the top of the wall or wherever it's deemed the goal line is. So Marlon Cook with a nice grab, gets up, jukes a defender, but a penalty will not let that stand. Northern Arizona passing pretty well early on, but Hayden Hatcher has Nolan Susel for a tackle for a loss on a run. Third down, Ramon Atkins-Frazier, he tucks and runs. Refs say he has the first down, so he has enough to convert that third down. Karan Ashley has a right side diving catch, and he hangs on through the process of it. 14-7, Wranglers, they break the tie and go back up. And then Manny Aguera, he hits a deuce. I believe it's his third of the year. It's 16-7 as Northern Arizona tacks on 2. Keenan Hambrick seam route down the field. He's wide open to the Northern Arizona 14 as we reach the end of the quarter number 1. Arizona can't get a conversion. 4th and 2. Myler is pressured, throws it to no one. Wranglers take over. Third down pass for Atkins is picked off by Carl Vansky-Decius, and he tips it to himself and dives to get it. So all that momentum that Northern Arizona had kind of goes to the wayside. Northern Arizona seems to be dropping into coverage here early on. Myler trying to run but getting minimal gains right now. He's getting a couple of yards, but he has time to throw for all things considered. 4th and 4, Myler has an open man, might have missed the defender as the pass is tipped away, and Northern Arizona has a turnover on downs. So, regular Arizona, are you okay? Kind of struggling here. Wranglers get backed up. Atkins-Frazier is running a little in this game. He's taking off when he needs to. It's 3rd and 8 upcoming. Psych. It's 3rd and 13 after a penalty. And then no doing. That pass falls incomplete on 3rd down. Aguera's field goal is wide left. And Arizona, they get a stop of their own. So maybe the Rattlers are okay. Another seam route in the coverage by Kaimani Clark. A beautiful touch pass and stride by Max Myler. 1st and goal Rattlers. Toss play to the right side. Kaimani Clark carries defenders across the goal line at 16-14 as the lead is now just 2. Onside attempt is recovered by Arizona but didn't go 10 yards. Northern Arizona takes over. Rattlers get away with a face mask. Never mind, they drew the flag. I didn't see it. Auto first down at the 1-minute warning. Nolan Susel slips behind the defense in the end zone. Atkins-Frazier finds him. Touchdown at Northern Arizona, 23-14 as the Wranglers, they continue to score here. Back-to-back catches for Trey Odoms-Dukes makes it 1st and goal Arizona inside the 5 once more. Myler calls his number left side. Refs signal touchdown. It's 23-21. Teams are just kind of going back and forth here. For the Northern Arizona possession after this, what a catch by Kylan Herrera, and an Arizona penalty will move half the distance for Northern Arizona closer. Ball at the Arizona 7, but Northern Arizona can't get into the end zone. Aguera comes out for a field goal, and the kick hits the upright. It's no good. Rattlers, they've got 5.4 seconds to work with. Myler tries a Hail Mary. It gets intercepted by Devaya Gabor, and was he touched against the wall? I guess so. So we've got halftime in Prescott Valley, 23-21 with Northern Arizona leading. Start of the second half, Kaimani Clark gets the edge right side, and he goes for a first down plus extra yardage when it comes to that. Kaimani Clark gets more carries, 3rd and 4. Myler calls his number. He can't get in. He's stopped at the 1. Handoff up the middle goes Kaimani Clark in Arizona. they take the lead, 28-23. Atkins picks up a first down, then a completion to Karan Ashley to midfield, moves the chains again. 2 runs for Ramon Atkins takes him inside the Arizona 5. First and goal, Northern Arizona, as they're just kind of chewing up some clock here. I don't know why my camera's messing up here, so I do apologize. Penalties on both teams on different plays. That makes it first and goal once again. Atkins has a touchdown, but it'll be called back for holding. 4th and goal for Northern Arizona. Atkins gains some yards, but it's a 4th and goal at midfield because of all the penalties and everything like that. I don't know why they didn't kick a field goal, but Arizona's got the ball, and this might change momentum. Rattlers begin the fourth quarter with an opportunity to take some time off the clock and go up 2 scores here. 3rd down for Arizona. Pass is caught, but not enough for the first down. Cook comes on for a field goal, and he has it. It is 31-23. An 8-point game with 11 to play. Ramon Atkins airs one out on the next drive. Yasin McKee goes up, and he has an interception. Just a backbreaker for Northern Arizona. I mean, what else can you say? Northern Arizona penalty on defense is followed by a right side rush. Followed by a right side rush. Shakes a tackle, goes the distance. I think that's Corey Reed. Yeah, that's Corey Reed. I didn't write down Corey Reed, but I'm remembering that was Corey Reed. Marlon Cook comes away with a first down catch against the wall into Arizona territory, so this is the next Northern Arizona drive. Karan Ashley catches over the middle, and it's a first and goal in Northern Arizona. Fake run, left side, Atkins pulls back, throws to Marlon Cook as he hits the floor, and he brings in the touchdown. So Northern Arizona, they're not going away. It's 38-33. It's just an 8-point lead for the Rattlers. And then interviewing Marlon Cook, we missed the play. We see it on replay, but Manny Aguirre hits another deuce, his 4th of the year, if I'm not mistaken, making it 38-32 with 4.5 to play. And then how did Keenan Hambrick come away with this catch at midfield? I'm not sure. But with that, I think there was a penalty after that one. Rattlers move closer with a Northern Arizona unsportsmanlike. 3rd and goal for Arizona. Myler threads the needle to Corey Reed. It goes between 2 defenders. He has the touchdown in the end zone. 2-point try is no good. It's 44-32 with 57 seconds left. And then the next possession for Northern Arizona, we have a couple scrambles for Ramon Atkins. He gets to the Arizona 15 or just inside it. And then next play is a pass. It's tipped. Joe So picks him off. That'll do it. Rattlers kill the rest of the clock off under that minute, and they take the victory, 44-32. Arizona they came back and did what they need to do to win this game. So let's go take a look at our stats, talk a little bit about this. We'll take a look at our bet. We got one more recap to do. All right, so we need to talk stats as they're on the screen here. And like I said, this was just a game that Northern Arizona was kind of in control until the second half started. And once Arizona started that second half, they just didn't really look back. I don't really know how else you can kind of describe it. Arizona was just kind of making the plays, and Northern Arizona did not know how to hang on to a lead. There's 16 points in the 4th quarter for the Rattlers, and that's just kind of what doomed them, man. But at the same time, Arizona's been in situations like this before. Northern Arizona has kind of, when you look at the coaching staff, when you look at the players and stuff, they've been in some situations, but not nearly to the extent of Arizona, it seems. But yeah, what can you do? They only scored 9 points in the second half. Just can't be doing that, man. Taking a look at our game leaders on the left side, Max Myler, 10 of 19 for 155 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Kaimani Clark, 7 carries, 43 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And Keenan Hambrick, 2 receptions, 39 yards, and 0 touchdowns. Myler was kind of throwing it all around. Corey Reed had a couple of touchdown catches. I don't think he had the yardage. So Hambrick had the yardage, but Reed had the touchdowns. For the most part, I mean, Max Myler's passing day, they didn't really need to pass it too much. And let's be honest here. Arizona kind of struggled in the first half. They had some trouble. They had some turnover on downs. They were getting stopped, and Northern Arizona was doing what they needed to do. And my first thought when I thought about this was I thought Northern Arizona could pull the upset. I thought I said this in the offseason as well, that I had at one point predicted Northern Arizona to win against Arizona this year, and I thought that was going to come to fruition. And I was like, man, I am so good at this. And it didn't happen. So what can you do? And again, that's to toot my own horn, but Max Myler throwing the ball really well, only missing 9 passes. It's less than 50%. Or it's a little over 50%. So that's not bad. But I mean, the rushing game is really what helped Arizona in this one. Clark, Brown, Myler, whoever. I mean, they were running really well. Corey Reed with the touchdown. Just how it goes. Over to the Northern Arizona side, 12 of 24 for Ramon Atkins, 170 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and those picks were backbreakers. I know I mentioned it earlier, but those picks were absolute backbreakers when it comes to this, because for Ramon Atkins, he is or was or still is at one point like the leader in interceptions in the league, and I don't know how you fix it, man. It gets to a point where you're just like, what are we doing? And I get some of them are not his fault. The passes are tipped. The tip just happens to go to the defender or something like that. But if you're looking that way and that's causing the defender to put his hands up in the air, maybe you're just not getting enough oomph to it. Maybe you're not getting enough bullet pass. I don't know. Maybe you're not lofting. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is 3 interceptions just kind of doomed you. You've had opportunities to, not want to say put this away, but increase your lead, and instead of chewing some clock, you're throwing it in the air for some reason, man. And that's not a Ramon Atkins. That might be a coaching thing. That might be an offensive scheme thing. I don't really know. Rushing leader is Atkins as well, 13 carries, 86 yards, and 1 touchdown. More of the same. He's able to take off and run when he needs to. When you look at it, 86 rushing yards. They had 85 total. So add in some sack yardage and some lost yards and stuff like that, and he is kind of your entire offense at that point. And I've said this for a long time now. Who else is going to step up between him and Marlon Cook? Karan Ashley's been all right, but Kylan Herrera's been there, here and there. Karan Ashley's been here and there. Nolan Susel, they've tried to get him going. I don't know if you start Omeabu. I'm not sure. I don't know where we go from here. Marlon Cook, 3 catches, 60 yards, and 1 receiving touchdown. So, again, that's not a bad day for him. Couple of catches, scores a touchdown. I mean, like I said, it's pretty much him and Atkins that are your kind of boomer bust on the offense. Taking a look at the right side here for the team stats, we're missing 2 third downs for we're missing a third down conversion. They were 0 for 2 on fourth downs, so I guess I can take that. And then I can fully believe that Northern Arizona was 2 for 6 on third downs, but only being 0 for 1 on fourth downs, you're wondering where the other 3 third down conversions went. I'm not sure. Total yards favor the Rattlers, but again, credit where it's due. Northern Arizona was passing the ball decently. I mean, the passing stats are kind of similar, a difference of 15 yards and a couple passes and completions, all things considered. So both offenses struggled a little bit. It's weird to think that Arizona's offense struggled a little bit, but 3 interceptions. That's, like I said, that's what's going to doom you. 13 penalties. We'll take a look at the rushing before we talk penalties. 130 yards rushing to 85. It's not bad. Rattlers kind of leaned on the run a little bit, and they got back into this game and then just kept kind of running the ball, chewing some clock, and doing exactly what they needed to do. 1 for 1 for Cook on field goals, 0 for 2 for Aguirre. Now, he did hit some deuces, so while it sucks missing the field goals, he did get some points. Penalties, 13 of 86. Now, I can absolutely believe this, truly. 4 for 51 for Arizona, and again, I can kind of believe that one too. There were some penalties going on both sides, but Northern Arizona is just undisciplined. A lot of false starts, a lot of dumb penalties, things that just need to be corrected. And like I said, all things considered, it's just kind of a shame that they've had this opportunity to potentially beat Arizona for, I think, the first time in a while, and it kind of got squandered. So, and again, the turnovers, we've already talked about that, 3-1 when it comes to interceptions. But yeah, that's where we have it with this one. Taking a look at our defensive stats here, if it will load for me. We have 3 interceptions, as mentioned, 2 tackles for a loss for Arizona, 4 tackles for a loss for Northern Arizona, and 4 pass breakups. Didn't really expect that. Now, are these stats accurate? Kenny Gallup has 6 total tackles, 6 solo tackles. Carl Vansky DeCius has 5. So you're starting to see some defensive backs being your leading tacklers, which with Northern Arizona kind of throwing it around, that's what they do. For the Wrangler side of things, Traveris Farrell had 5 solo tackles. Brandon Looper had 5 solo tackles, but Farrell with a sack, 2 tackles for a loss, and 1 pass breakup. It's not a bad day at the office for Traveris Farrell when you look at it and that the stats are truly accurate. So Not really a bad day overall, but again, Arizona pulls out the victory. Northern Arizona kind of left scratching their head as turnovers and mistakes doom them once more. So let's go take a look at our bet, and we've got another recap to do. 6 for 6, baby. 6 for 6. All right, we need to take a look at Tucson and New Mexico. This this is one of my patented games. Was it a good game? Was it a bad game? This was a game. And there were some good parts. There were some bad parts. There was anything and everything in between. But it was entertaining. So let's dive in. Casey Otto will get the start for Tucson. Maybe a change of pace here. Draylon Ellis, I guess, just not pulling his weight. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Brandon Mackey with a couple rushes, and then Tavion Thomas picks up the first down on 3rd and short. Lightning and thunder. Triple option handoff in the backfield. Tucson running well. 3rd and 15 on a lost yard rush. Otto's sacked by Keandre Hall. Go Pitt State. Go Pitt State. He's also sacked by Maurice Jackson, but we know who really got the sack. Macias is out for a field goal, and he hits it right down the middle. 3-0 Sugar Skulls. Okay. The New Mexico Chupacabras uniforms, they're pretty sick. The blood dripping from the names on the back, it's a beautiful touch. I like that. CJ Jefferson with a great return to the Tucson 19. Another snap and motion issue for New Mexico this week. Deshaun Holt recovers for Tucson. Just more of the same, man. Jacius Clark with a nice play. Brandon Mackey is down for the Skulls. Javian Lofton catch over the middle for a first down in midfield, and then the Chupacabras snuff out the run as Tucson faces a 4th and 10. Macias misses his second attempt of the night, which I don't think that's correct because he misses his second attempt. Okay, so a second. Okay, I read that. I read my own note wrong. I thought it was his second. Okay, yeah, you know what I'm saying. Isaiah Crocker wide open on the right sideline to the 22-yard line. Crocker again makes a man miss, picks up a first down, but a flag will set New Mexico back. These are mistakes that I keep talking about. Street can't hang on to the 3rd down pass to end the first quarter, and Johnson's pass is tipped away on 4th down. Tucson takes over. Casey Otto has had some issues on the RPO on which way to turn for the handoff. Keandre Hall with a tackle for a loss. Another 4th down for the Sugar Skulls. Macias doinks one through this time. 6-0 Skulls. New Mexico, they're still alive here. It could be much worse for New Mexico given everything that's gone on. LeJames White down the right sideline, and no one went with him. He goes inside the 5, and New Mexico has a chance for points. Tucson, though, has a goal line stand until a very late flag is thrown at defensive pass interference. New Mexico gets a new set of downs. Johnson has pressure. He just floats a pass, and Demond Street comes down with it. Ben Derby misses the extra point, and we're tied at 6. Tavion Thomas, rumble, bumble, stumble, first down rush all the way down to the New Mexico 15. Jacius Clark lays a boom on Casey Otto, and we're getting kind of chippy here in Tucson at the 1-minute warning. Casey Otto throws a dart to Javian Lofton, and the pile is pushed in to the end zone. It's a touchdown for Tucson, 13-6 as the tie is broken for the Sugar Skulls. Tyque's leg smacks Johnson for a sack, and Johnson tried to give him a shove afterwards. 3rd and 14 with 8 seconds left in the half. Johnson scrambles, but clock runs out as he is tackled. It is 13-6 Tucson as they take a halftime lead. LeJames White returns it to the 1 to start the second half. I swear he got in, but the refs say no. Chupacabras falter with penalties and Johnson's improvisation. Derby comes out for a field goal, and he hits it. 13-9 as New Mexico gets some points. Gleason Sprewell can't hang on to an interception for the Chupacabras on the next drive, but they do get a 4th down. Macias brought out for another field goal, and he has another one. We have a battle of the kickers. It is 16-9 for the Sugar Skulls. Ensuing possession at Tucson and just kind of sending pressure after pressure, making Johnson improvise and get out of the pocket. And then just more pressure. He's running for his life. He was pretty much doing it the entire game. 4th down for the Chupacabras. Derby comes out for a field goal. It curls in. I don't know how you get a curveball with a kick, but it did. We've got kicker fight night, and it's 16-12. New Mexico back within 4. Left side first down rush for Tavion Thomas as Tucson continues to run the ball. Sugar Skulls will have their drive stall out, and Macias is out for another. He hits another. Give him special team player of the week. It's 19-12 Sugar Skulls. Start of the fourth quarter here, New Mexico working downfield, and Damon Street is wide open left side, and he waltzes across the goal line. We are tied at 19. Demisio Ewing with a great kick return to the New Mexico side of the field. Tucson works into a first and goal. Casey Otto, RPO keeper, up the middle as he strolls into the end zone. It's a good extra point as well. It is 26-16. That lead is back with Tucson. Chupacabra set up well with a nice kick return. They need a touchdown here to tie it. LeJames White picks up a first down, dragging defenders with him on a screen play. Pressure up the middle. Johnson extends the play, but an incomplete fourth down for New Mexico. Johnson down at the 1 and converts. Oh, it's incomplete. It's a fourth down, and then he converts. Okay, there we go. Sometimes I write my notes very weird. Johnson rolls right, and he finds Isaiah Crocker in the back of the end zone. New Mexico hits the extra point. We are all tied up at 26 as we hit the 1-minute warning. Kickoff goes out of the end zone, so Tucson starts at the 20. They just need a field goal to win. Casey Otto picks up a first down to the New Mexico 16. Tavion Thomas busts through up the middle. He crosses the plane. It is a touchdown. Oh my God. 33-26. Tucson takes the lead with 16 seconds remaining. Damon Street catch past midfield with 7 seconds to go. False start will back New Mexico up 5 yards. Just more mental mistakes. Low snap, end zone shot is incomplete. 1 second to go. Final play, end zone shot tipped away. New Mexico wins it 33-26. So like I said, it was a game, but it was an entertaining game to say the least. It was a really, really, really entertaining game. So with that, we need to go take a look at our stats, look at our bet and our prediction, take a look at some standings, and then we'll wrap up. We'll get out of here. All right. Taking a look at the stats as they are on the screen here, and as I've said, this is a game. It was a very entertaining game, especially in the second half when the offenses and defenses kind of started to click a little bit for both sides. And we do have a tale of kind of the two different offenses here, as one team passed the ball a little bit more and one team clearly ran the ball a little bit more. Now, again, these are the Indoor Football League stats. Take them with a grain of salt, but Tucson pulls out the victory, and a lot of that hinges on the leg of Kevin Macias, and we'll talk about that in 1 second too. But Jerome Johnson, your game leader in passing for New Mexico, 9 of 19, 101 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Crazy thing about this game, as dumb as it was, and I use that endearment with the term of endearment, there were no turnovers. None. So that's pretty cool too. Jerome Johnson at 9 of 19, which now that I think about it, was there? I don't think there was, but again, the stats say there weren't, so there you go. But anyway, 3 touchdowns, 101. He completed 9 passes, so 1 of every 3 passes of his was a touchdown. So good, but you wish for a little bit more accuracy, you wish for a little bit more precision, and go along from there. But again, as we mentioned in the recap, he was kind of running for his life a lot, so being able to pass the ball and get it out and be accurate with it was kind of a tough challenge, all things considered. LeJames White, 7 carries, 11 yards, no touchdowns. Not a lot of rushing in this one, even though Jerome Johnson had to rush quite a bit. But again, you take away some of those yards when it comes to sacks, when it comes to lost yards, when it comes to anything, and just couldn't really do much in the running game for New Mexico. They were forced to kind of throw it a little bit. LeJames White's also your leading receiver, 4 catches, 36 yards, and no touchdowns. So it's crazy to think that out of those 9 completions, 4 of them went to LeJames White, which means 5 completions went to other players, and those are the guys that got the touchdowns. But LeJames White, 4 catches, 36 yards, no touchdown. It's crazy how we can make that work. Casey Otto, not the best first day passing, but 6 for 11. It's over 50%. 61 yards, 1 passing touchdown, no interceptions. They kind of committed to the ground game in this one, because the very next one, Tavion Thomas, 12 carries, 86 yards, and 1 touchdown. I couldn't remember if Brandon Mackey got back into the game or not, trying to figure it all out, but either way, it didn't matter. 12 carries for 86 yards. Tavion Thomas doing one hell of a job in that ground game. And when you look at the stats on the right side there, 124, 86 of those rushing yards were from Thomas, so pretty good day. Javian Lofton, 2 receptions, 30 yards, and the 1 receiving touchdown from Otto. And that, like I said, you scored some points, but a lot of the points were from your kicker as well. And Yeah, same thing on the New Mexico side. You had scored 26, and 6 of them are from your kicker. Actually, more of them, I think, because of the extra points, which I think they might have missed 1 or 2. Taking a look at the team stats on the right side here. I don't know how Tucson got a 4th down conversion, and this is what it says on their website. I don't know how Tucson got a 4th down conversion that they never had, but something's screwed up there. They went 4 for 9 on 3rd downs, which I can kind of believe, and it went 1 for 0 on 4th downs. So don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. Stats, still bunk. I can believe the 3 for 9 for New Mexico 2, and then the 1 for 2 on 4th down, but again, we're still missing like 4 3rd downs when it comes to that. Not a lot of first downs between the teams, kind of to be expected at that point with the way the offense is played in this. Total yards favor Tucson, and like I said, the duality of this, one team passing a little bit more, one team running a little bit more. New Mexico just committed to that pass game, but getting James White into it, I don't really have anything to take away from it. Otherwise, like, this is kind of how New Mexico's offense kind of is. James White will have a couple of carries, but for the most part, it is Jerome Johnson and how he goes about it. Is he going to throw? Is he going to run? If he runs, does he lose yards on a sack? Is he trying to, extend the play and run back? I don't know. So, passing, again, Casey Otto 61. It's not bad. You wish for more. You wish for more of an offensive explosion, but again, getting his first start in this league. Yes, he's a veteran of the game, quote unquote, playing in other leagues and stuff like that. So, we'll see how it truly translates when it comes to kind of the nitty-gritty as the season goes along here. Rushing, 124. Like I said, Tavion Thomas ran really well. Tucson ran really well. I think that might have been a little bit of a factor in this game, kind of keeping New Mexico on their toes. And Thomas had a couple of runs that he was able to bust out of and just kind of move the chains and keep drives alive and things along those lines. So what can you say? One team throwing a little bit better, one team running a little bit better, and the running team, they prevailed. But here we have it. We already talked 6 points for New Mexico. 6 points for New Mexico off field goals and 12 points. 12 of the 33 points, that's what? A third? Something like that. So almost a third of the points were from Kevin Macias, and that doesn't even include the extra points. So I know, and that hindsight's because I'm recording this after the fact, but I know he's not going to win Special Teams Player of the Week, but at least put him in second place. I don't know. At least put him in second place or like co-opt it. He had a damn good day, man. He is off to the races. We've got some good kickers in this league, and Macias has been there for quite a while. Penalties, neither team got penalized, and if they did, for no yards. No yards. No, that's clearly wrong. It's wrong in the sense of you got to fix that, man. So I'm not really sure how else you can kind of go about it, but that's where we have it. Taking a look at the defensive side of things, we had 5 tackles for a loss for New Mexico and 4.5 tackles for a loss for Tucson. So again, players getting into the backfield, getting in there and disrupting the things, disrupting the game, disrupting the running game, the passing game, what have you. Tucson getting 2 sacks and New Mexico getting 1 of their own. Jaquan Godfrey, that's not who he is. That's Jared Sod, number 22. See, again, the stats, the hooks, SpongeBob. 13 total tackles, 8 solo tackles, 5 assisted. So it's not 13 total. It's actually, 10.5 for Jared Sod. Pretty good day for the defensive back. Gleason Spreewell, 4 solo tackles, 3 assisted. That gives him 5.5. Maurice Jackson, 4 total tackles. That's not a bad day for New Mexico. They ran into the buzzsaw that was Kevin Macias' right leg. For the Tucson Sugar Skulls, Ahmad Lyons, 5 total tackles and 1 assisted tackle. Deshaun Davis, there was a turnover now that I'm thinking about it, because Deshaun Davis, he had that fumble, didn't he? But either way, or maybe it was called back. I have to go back and look. I'm sorry, my brain is fried already. Either way, Deshaun Davis, 3 solo tackles, 3 assisted tackles. Most of it were just a couple of tackles from each guy, and the defense as a whole for both sides, decent. Now, you can hold a team under 30 points and a team under 35 points. Your defense actually looks pretty decent. The downside is your offenses couldn't put up anything. So that's where we're going to leave it with this one. Tucson pulling out the victory. What else can you say? So Tucson owns the head-to-head now if there's an opportunity that these two teams have the same record at the end of the season, because they've won their first 2 matchups. They do play later on in the year as well, but If they do have the same record, Tucson owns that tiebreaker. So let's go take a look at our bet. Let's take a look at some standings really quick. Wrap up and get out of here. I did it. 7-4-7. Put it in the history of books, baby. Absolute heater. All right, taking a look at the standings as they are on the screen here. And yes, we're doing this late, so all this doesn't really exist anymore because Week 7's come and gone. But we take a look at this, and Green Bay and Fishers, they seem to be the class of the Eastern Conference, while we have a three-way race in the West with Arizona, Vegas, and San Diego. Tucson getting 2 wins, both against New Mexico and owning that tiebreaker, as we just mentioned. That could prove to be beneficial if New Mexico can get on a run and win some games here. Now, we do have the Pella Fight of the Week the very next week. We already know who won that one, but San Antonio and Northern Arizona have that, that game coming up. And then the only other winless team is Iowa. For the most part, over half this league is over 500. Now, granted, there are games in hand and things like that, and everyone will work themselves out to 16 total games here. However, some of the takeaways, the fact that we have 7 teams, half of this league has just 1 loss. That's kind of insane. Now, on the other end, five teams have 1 or less wins. So there is, I guess, some parity here, and you're going to start to see, again, some moving and shaking as we start to see more teams win, more teams lose, and how we start to define the head-to-heads, how we start to define how the playoff seedings and stuff start to go. Oh, and we've got a pesky little thing called the American Dream IFL Cup that we need to talk about in a couple of weeks, because that's going to show up. We're going to figure out how that's going to go as well. Now, with this, when you look at these standings, I am curious on how the rest of the East is going to shake out, because Quad City at 2-3, Jacksonville at 2-1, Tulsa at 1-2. You got to have 4 teams in there, and if Jacksonville starts to go on a losing streak, or if Quad City goes on a winning streak, or Tulsa does, it is packed. You kind of have your separation up there with Green Bay, Fishers, and somewhat Orlando. Jacksonville just takes 1 loss right there to get them to 500. I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm not saying they're going to lose, but regardless, this is where we're at. This is what I've told everyone at the very beginning of the year, in the offseason and everything else. The East is packed. And don't look now, because even though Iowa is 0-4, they still have a chance. A slim one, a slim chance. Don't laugh at me. Do not laugh at me. Do not say I'm owned, but they have a chance. If they can ever get things right and get some wins, they're only a couple of spots out from that 5th spot. And then if any team ends up faltering, Jacksonville, Orlando, whoever it is, they end up going on a losing streak. Iowa, ? I know, fat chance. Do not stop laughing at me, I swear to God. But they're not out of it. Not until the fat lady sings, man. And it might be a couple of weeks. But still, do not laugh at me. Same can kind of be said for San Antonio, Northern Arizona. I mean, they're 2 games out, a game and a half out from Tucson. So all those teams need to do is string together a couple of wins. Same with New Mexico. And suddenly there's a brand new 4th team in that Western Conference for that final playoff spot. Now they might be lambs to a slaughter, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there, man. So that's where we have it with the standings. I mean, some stuff will start to solidify. You'll start to see some teams kind of stay in their spot after a couple of weeks. There will be some jostling and some jockeying and stuff, but at the same time, that's where we kind of have it. It's crazy to think. You see Iowa and Quad City 0-3 on the road, and you see a lot of teams defending their home turf here. Green Bay, Fishers, Orlando, Quad City, Arizona, and San Diego all undefeated. Jacksonville in there too. I missed them. But yeah, all those guys have yet to lose at home. So I'll see how it goes. But anyway, let's wrap everything up. Let's get out of here. And that is it for our recap for Week 6 Sunday's slate. I think we're all caught up with all the previews and all the recaps up until Week 7. I still need to recap Week 7 and all of that stuff. But we still have 2 games to go as I'm doing this on a Sunday afternoon. It is 2:55 p.m. my time, so I'm hoping to get this out as the Quad City and Jacksonville game is going on, because I need to go switch out of the enemy territory and get into my Quad City jersey as I want to go watch that one. But I'll keep this short and sweet for everyone. I do love you. I do appreciate you. I do thank you if you took the time to watch this at all. It truly means a lot. It's been a couple of weird days, but I've got some really good news. I hope I can share it eventually, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I just want you to know that the news that I've received is very humbling. and it's something that I'm very happy and excited about. So if it comes to fruition, it'll be something amazing. I promise you that. But I'm going to take off here, guys. I've blabbed on long enough. If you want to, like, comment, share, subscribe. If you don't, it's fine too. But I'll catch you guys in the recaps of Week 7. We'll get caught back up. I promise you that too. We'll get caught right back up. And go Steam Wheelers.